Good afternoon. My name is Anne-Marie Tunney and I am the Interim Course Director for the Return to Practice Nursing course. I would first of all like to thank you for your interest in the Return to Practice Nursing programme. And this short presentation is designed to give you an overview of what the programme is about. So I want to start off by looking at some of the benefits of studying at Ulster University and indeed some of the benefits of studying the Return to Practice Nursing programme. So we are currently the sole provider of Return to Practice Nursing within Northern Ireland. The course was revalidated in 2021 and that was to reflect the new NMC standards and the proficiencies that are required of a registered nurse. One of the striking aspects of this course is that our students often report a sense of personal fulfillment in achieving their goal of returning to practice. You will find that the course is taught by staff who are experienced in whatever field of practice that you have actually come from. So we have staff whose background will be in either children's nursing or learning disability, mental health nursing or adult nursing, and these staff will teach into the programme. You will find that you will be fully supported in both your study environment and also in your practice learning environment. We work hard to integrate the theoretical and the practical aspects of your learning. And at the end of the programme, the successful completion of the course will allow you to return to practice in whichever field of practice that you came from originally. So the programme offers flexible part-time study. It is taught both online and face-to-face, and we are moving now more towards face-to-face teaching than what we have been over the previous year and a half obviously with the COVID pandemic. Academically, the course comprises of one 40-credit module, and that will be at a level 6. So the programme structure. We have the programme divided into what are called blocks. So we have block 1, block 2 and block 3. We have 2 cohorts per year, the first cohort starting in September and then a further cohort, we have an intake in January. So for both cohorts, we have what's called an induction day. And on that day, you will be introduced to your fellow classmates, and we will also get you set up with the digital technology that will be required to help you to complete the programme. Block 2, as you can see, is made up of 5 study days delivered over the course of 1 week. And over those 5 study days, we will be preparing you for going out onto practice. You will see that on study day 3, we have a session scheduled for skills training, and those skills will comprise of infant and child CPR, adult CPR, and moving and handling. And then we move on to block 3. And block 3 comprises of both your practice learning hours, and you will also see that roughly every 3 to 4 weeks, the practice learning block 3 is peppered with a study day. So you can see that over the course of the 15 weeks, you have 5 study days happening every 3 to 4 weeks. And the beauty of this is it allows us to check in with you just to find out how you're getting out in practice. And we provide you then with further academic information about the programme. So applying to the programme. So as I have already said, there are 2 intakes. One takes place in September and one takes place in January. The closing date for applications is usually the end of May for the September intake and the end of October for the January intake. How to apply? You apply online at ulster.ac.uk, and when you go into the website, if you search for Return to Practice, you will find the information that pertains to the programme that you want to apply for. I would say make sure you complete the application in full, and if you have any doubt about any of the questions, please do not hesitate to contact us and we will be happy to help. And my details you'll find at the end of this presentation. Now, course places are commissioned, and because they're commissioned, applicants will be shortlisted and interviewed before they're offered a place. So there is a shortlisting process, and you also will have an interview to go through before being offered a place on the programme. Up until this point in time, we have been carrying out our interviews online, and that may change in the near future. So if you're interested in applying for the programme, if you contact us at the details given, and we will send you an applicant pack, and that contains information and hopefully all that you need to know when applying for the course. So with regards to fees and finances, the course fees for this programme are paid by the Department of Health, and again that's part of the commissioning process. You don't have to pay a course fee, that course is already taken care of, but you do have to pay some fees. So you have a fee to pay for an Access NI clearance and also an occupational health assessment that must be carried out before you commence the course. And again, when you apply for the course, further information will be available in the applicant pack about what these fees are and who you pay them to. You will also be responsible for buying your uniform from our supplier. And again, the information on that will be in the applicant pack, and it will also be emailed out to you if you're successful in gaining a place on the course. As I have mentioned before, you will be fully supported during your time at Ulster University and during your time on this course. So at university, you will be guided and supported by your course director. I am your interim course director. You will also be supported by what's called a studies advisor and also members of the Return to Nursing Practice teaching team. And we will be in constant contact with you, not only on the days that you come in to see us in university for your study days, but we keep regular contact with you via email and also using such platforms as Zoom or Microsoft Teams. And when you're out in practice, you'll also receive lots of support. You will be taught and supervised by what are called practice assessors and or supervisors. And these will be nurses in your own field of practice. And they have been specifically prepared for the role of being a practice supervisor and assessor. You will also be supported out there in practice by what's called your link lecturer. Every practice learning environment has a link lecturer, and they are members of the teaching staff from Ulster University who are linked to that particular practice setting. In terms of assessment, you will have a written assignment to do for this course, and also you will have a practice assessment document to complete while you're in practice, and that's to show and to demonstrate how you've achieved the programme outcomes and how you're meeting the NMC standards of proficiency for registered nurses. So that will help you then and enable you to reapply to the NMC register. So what do students say about the course? So you can see in the slide in front of you, these are excerpts from evaluations that have been taken from previous cohorts of Return to Nursing Practice. So you can see that students have said that they thoroughly enjoyed the course and they're looking forward to being back on the register. The teaching and support were both excellent. Information regarding the expectation was given in a clear and structured way, and teaching staff were always available for feedback and questions. It was an excellent course which far exceeded my expectations. I felt well prepared and supported by teaching staff, which provided me with considerable knowledge and confidence and meant that I had a wonderful experience. I felt so nervous to begin with, but have come through the course feeling a great sense of confidence regaining my registration. And that's always good for us to hear the evaluation and the feedback from students. And it's like every course, students start off with a certain amount of anxiety and trepidation. But as you can see from these comments, the support that is available throughout the course helps to dispel any anxiety that students may have. So we have a number of frequently asked questions, and what I want to do is I want to spend some time just going through 4 of the most frequently asked questions and to provide you with some answers to these questions. So the first question that we're frequently asked is, do I have to find my own practice learning area? And the answer to that is no. We have established links with the 5 trusts in Northern Ireland. And there is a practice learning allocation system in place to ensure that your allocated area will provide you with the required experience to achieve all of the NMC proficiencies. So what we try to do is at interview, you will be asked if you have a preferred trust that you would like to go on in placement, and if you have a preferred area of specialism that you would like to be placed in. And we can't always guarantee it, but we do try our best to facilitate your requests. So my second question is, can I count the hours that I am working as a healthcare assistant? So at the minute, you may be working as a healthcare assistant and thinking, I can count these hours towards my practice learning hours. But the answer to that is no, because you're working under a contract of employment in your role as a healthcare assistant. And you're also working in an extremely different role. And in doing so, working as a healthcare assistant, you can't achieve the NMC proficiencies for a registered nurse. In addition, the NMC also requires you to undertake practice learning in an approved area as a supernumerary pre-reg student, and that's under the supervision of a specially prepared nurse who will be your practice supervisor and your practice assessor. The next question, I am working as a midwife, but I want to rejoin the register as an adult nurse. Can I count some of the hours I'm working towards my total? And again, in many ways, the answer to this is very similar to the previous question. When you're working as a midwife, you're doing so as a registrant on a different part of the NMC register than that for an adult nurse. Your practice hours must be as a supernumerary pre-reg student nurse. Completing your practice learning in an approved area under the supervision of a practice supervisor or practice assessor, where your learning and achievement can be assessed over time. And lastly, can I do more hours a week and finish the programme earlier? Well, your practice learning hours are allocated evenly over the weeks of the programme to ensure that you have adequate time to learn and practice and to regain your confidence. This means that the nurses who are responsible for assessing you have the time to really get to know you and get to know your strengths and any areas for development. And over time, they can be sure of your progress before assessing you as having achieved the required proficiencies to reapply for re-entry to the register. But remember, you also have study, you have reading, you have preparation, and you have an assignment to write. And you also have a practice assessment document to complete. And you have to make sure that you plan to allocate enough time to do this well. And that's why it's important that you actually spread your hours out over the duration of the programme and don't try to finish it earlier than what you should be finishing it. So our main aim for the programme has been to create a supportive and flexible programme that has the required rigour to challenge and reward your work, and we hope to facilitate a synergy of learning to enable you to achieve that goal of re-entry to the register. And finally, to say that if you have any questions regarding the return to practice study, please do not hesitate to get in touch. And my details are listed there for you as your interim course director. So I just want to thank you for listening, and I hope that you have found this webinar informative. Thank you.